Welcome to this week's Weekly Energy Boost. I am joined by friends and colleagues, Ariel Weiner and Daniel Naor, and we're going to share with you about it's really one main energy that we have this week. Ariel is going to share with us the deeper meaning that the Zohar brings us behind the energy of this week. Hopefully we'll get some good assignments from him. Daniel's going to share with us a story, and we're going to wrap up this week's episode with a meditation. We've listened to our viewer comments, and we're rising to the occasion, and we are going to have a brief visualization at the end of this week's episode to bring home everything that we talk about today. So to start us off, Ariel is going to share with us about the weekly energy as we learn it from the portion of Ki Tetzeh.
We finally got him into the studio.
Yes, it was hard to get Ariel on the schedule, but
I was
we
in
won.
Israel, so
Details. We could have remoted you in.
okay. Thank you, Elisheva. It's really nice to be here with you, and thank you for inviting me.
Thank me, don't worry.
When it will be your show, I'll thank you. So this week energy is the portion, like Elisheva mentioned, is the portion of Ki Tetzeh. And from the first verse of the portion, we can already learn a lot about what we can gain, what we can receive. So it says that if you would go to war against your many enemies, then God will deliver the head of the commander-in-chief of those negative forces into your hands, and you will become victorious of that war. So from this first verse, we already learned three amazing and very powerful and important lessons about what we can receive this week. The first thing is that we are in constant war against what the Kabbalists call our body, ego, selfish consciousness. Make sense?
Maybe you are. I'm not.
Right? So for some people, it's the word war is kind of, maybe it's a strong word, right? So let's call it the journey of our soul. Okay, we are here on a journey, and that journey is to discover our true potential, is to discover who we really are, discover the forces of love within us, discover the forces of creativity, and the unique way that our soul came to manifest. What it came to this world to manifest, to leave a mark, to make a difference, to help other people. And there is a constant battle between those two forces. And the more we are aware that we are in a battle, the greater our chances are to actually become victorious eventually. If we're not aware that we are in war, then we don't even go to war, so there is no, or we don't even go on that journey of discovery, so the chances are that we're not gonna really be connected to who we really are and find that great, beautiful soul that exists within each and every single one of us. The second thing that we receive already is that we have many enemies. Those enemies can become manifested in ways of anger, frustration, sadness, victim consciousness, low energy, don't want to do things, not excited, not motivated, jealousy, judgment. You guys are familiar?
I've never experienced any of those things, actually.
Yeah.
Certainly not in the month of Virgo.
I'm an angel, so I don't know any of those.
Right.
Especially not being a victim. I'm always full responsibility, full on, full energy, excitement,
Absolutely.
smiling. So we do have many enemies, okay? And the more we are aware of those enemies, the Kabbalist, especially Rav Ashlag, explains the more we are aware, again, the greater our chances to actually taking control over those forces and allow...
They say you have to give the baby a name.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't know who you're up against, again, the chances are that there is no chance, basically. The third and last thing that we receive from this, again, just the first verse, which is the essence, is the seed level of this week's energy, is that then God will deliver the commander-in-chief, the head of the negative army, into our hands. So
I'm not sure I want to receive that head.
You do, actually, because the head controls the body. So if you get the head, which is the ego itself, it's the adversary itself, it's the it's the
It's like the source.
is the source, exactly. It's the seed level of where which is the desire to receive for the self alone. Then we get control over that basic force that manifests in many different ways. All we need to do is to go to war. Now, we have the support of the month of Virgo, which allows us, the energy of this month, help us to see with more clearly what exactly are our enemies. And when we actually go on that journey, and this is really this week kind of mission or assignment, call for action. Rabbi Isaac Luria, the Ari, says that the more we crave to be connected to our soul, the greater there is greater chances that we will find who we truly are, our greater potential,
Our gifts, like you were saying.
our gifts, our light, our love, our sharing. There is greater chances that we'll find it this month, because this month assists us to see what we need to work on, the different types of our enemies, but it also assists us to see who we really are and have more clarity about the beautiful soul that exists within each and every single one of us. So the work of this week, the spiritual work, the journey, is to awaken that craving. I want to be more connected to my soul. I want to see what exactly is my war with more clarity, because sometimes we don't see. Sometimes it's not clear for us. The energy of this week helps us to be able to see it more, and then as a result, to go to that war. And then there is a promise. The more we go to that war, on that journey, we embark on that journey, then the Creator actually come and help us and discover for us who we really are and help us to so if we fight, let's say, one negative trait, let's take anger, we fight that, so the Creator will help us also in other areas in our life, because we take control over the source of the negativity. So also,
beautiful.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I can see. And the truth is, one of the dangers, I think, of this month, with the enhanced ability to see what needs to be worked on, it's easy to get kind of
depressed.
I don't like to use the word, but yeah, depressed. It's easy to not look forward to that as an opportunity. And I think it's important to point out that the Kabbalists actually say we should be excited, right? You can't delete the virus from your computer until you identify it. So we spend the month of Virgo really looking, not so that we can feel like this is an impossible task, but so that we can use the opportunities that are coming at us in the month of Libra to wash those negativities, that darkness away.
Yeah, and also when we see a lot of it, we can become frustrated or despaired almost. Like how can I battle? Like I have so much, right?
Absolutely.
And how can I do it? I can never do it. So there is a promise. You just pick one or two, and you decide that you do want to work on it. You do want to improve it. You do want to remove it from your life, and then you'll receive so much assistance in so many other areas of the.
It's important to remember.
I know it's interesting because one of the limited belief systems the opponent imposes on us is making us believe that the work is so great, it's like a mountain that I can never reach, and the reward is very little. Yeah. And what we want to do is turn it around to say, no, I just take the first step, the light will assist me, and the reward is like so much bigger than the actual effort.
Yeah.
Daniel, I understand that you have picked a story to share with us.
Yes, I did, and actually I didn't know what Ariel is going to talk about, but I did know that this week's energy is Kitetse, and I know a little bit about that. So I know it had to do with wars and battles and journey of our soul and getting closer. So the story that came to my mind is the story of our teacher, the Rav, and his teacher, Rav Brandwein. Many times when we're telling stories here, we go way back, maybe 200 years ago, the Baal Shem Tov, but we don't need to go actually that far back. We have great stories from our teachers. And the story is also documented in this book, by the way. It's a great book, Education of a Kabbalist.
the promotional part of the...
Yes, great read, one of my favorites. And the story is, so it's based on true events. It's a story of the Rav while he was traveling with his teacher Rav Brandwein in Israel, and the 6-day war started. So what his teacher did, what Rav Brandwein did, he was taking him and said, come, we must go. where we go, you weren't allowed to drive. It was very dangerous. And Rav Bandwein took his student, the Rav, to all these sacred places. They were praying, they were meditating, they were making spiritual connections. And at some point, Rav Bandwein stopped and said, we just stopped the war. And on a physical level, nothing happened, nothing changed, right? The war was still going on. But Rav Bandwein could see the effect that their connections down below in this world had in the upper worlds, so he could already see the effects of it and the implementations of that later on. So a few days later, the war stopped. But why I'm sharing this is because that's really the Kabbalistic approach in how to overcome and how to battle and win wars. It's not with machine guns, it's not with physical weapons. And as we know, we're not talking about the physical war, we're talking about this week about the spiritual war that we're all fighting every day.
Yeah, it's important that you say it, because the soldiers that was chosen to go to war were actually the most righteous people. It wasn't the strong people that can fight physically in this portion. Yeah, in the portion, it was the righteous people, to indicate to us it's not about the physical war like you're saying. It's actually those souls that understand that the real war is the internal work. And
right. So again, when we're faced and confronted with internal conflicts and battles, it's to remind us that, to go really to the source. The only thing that can remove darkness, as we heard our teacher the Rav say many times, is the light of the Creator. So that's the first thing that we want to go to when we are fighting this battle, when we're fighting our demons. To what can I do that will plug me in now to the light? That's the first step to overcome and win the battle.
Is there anything practical you can tell us on how to plug into the light?
Yeah, we can use the tools. We can go to the Zohar. We can use other meditations that we use. We can maybe go and study. We can maybe ask other people, like starting a conversation and just get out of our own head. Many things that we could do. Anything that with the intention of not just finding solutions here in the physical, but to know that the answer and the solution already exist. What can I do to plug in?
Maybe we can do a little active plugging in now.
Oh, wow.
With our first time weekly energy boost meditation. In line with what Ariel and Daniel shared about, you really need to know who you're up against. Those negative forces, we can give them the overarching title of the opponent, the desire to receive for the self alone. But part of the gift of this month is to help us really hone in, and this week especially, to know who we're up against. So we're going to do a bit of a meditation. If you're driving, either pause the video or pull over. You're more than welcome to also do this later, but we wanted to, while we have the captive audience, to help us all plug into an infinite source of inspiration and direction and guidance in this week's work. So wherever you're at, you can take a moment, take a few deep breaths, close your eyes, kind of find the peace, the inner tranquility and calmness inside you. It may not be easy in the middle of your day, or it may be at night, but try to use a couple breaths to clear your mind and to clear the tension from your body. In this meditation, we're going to use one of the 72 names of God. It's the name of revealing the concealed. And so you can open your eyes and see the three letters, the Mem Yud Chet, on the screen in front of you. And if you can close your eyes and keep it in your mind's eye, that's great as well, but it'll stay on the screen for the next minute or so. And what we want to do is fill ourselves with a light, a warm, calming, peaceful light radiating from these letters. And as the light of the Mem and the Yud and the Chaf fill us, it illuminates those places within, those limited belief systems, any dark and defeating emotions, pessimistic thoughts, highlighting for us, right? Bringing out into the light the things that we should spend this week's time and energy working on. as Ariel called it, the journey of our soul, or if it works for you, you can also call it the battle against the negative forces, really to uncover the diamond within. And I'll share with you the meditation from the 72 Names of God book of meditations. It says here, I tap into the universal truths. Light from the Creator shines upon me, and I am able to see what is truly happening. My powers of observation are strengthened, and I connect to the truth, to what has been concealed until now. And you can go back and repeat this meditation. Use revealing the concealed throughout the week to connect back, to keep you on focus, looking at the things that really need your attention, right? We don't want to be busy wrestling with the stuff that's not important. We want to be focused and on target and effective in our spiritual work, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to uncover the greatness of our soul. And it's exciting to know that we have everything we need this week. You know, the combination of Ki Tetzeh plus the energy of the month of Virgo, we can, I mean, there's no telling what we'll find if we really put our minds to it. And again, bearing in mind, the goal is to reveal the light, not to be bogged down by the heaviness or the darkness of the process. This is week 3 of our Rosh Hashanah study preparation guide. So as you can see on the screen, this is the continuation of your assignment. If you choose to join with us in that effort to prepare ourselves, to build the vessel, to receive all of that light during that cosmic window of Rosh Hashanah, this is our recommended videos and books and Zohar connection for the week. Next week, we'll share with you week 4. As always, we're here, the teachers are here to help you with that process, so that if you do need to reach out, you know how to do that. You're also welcome to comment in the comment section here, or to email us at energyboost@kabbalah.com. This is a process that's meant to do, you know, although the internal soul seeking is often on your own, we're doing this as a community. And whether you're at a Kabbalah center, you're part of a study group, or you're sitting on your couch or in your car or at your desk, we're doing this together. So we hope that you're clear and you're focused on the assignment for the week, not just with the study guide, but also with the energy. Thank you, Daniel and Ariel, for joining us. I feel empowered to do the work, again, not on my own, but with everybody around the world doing that same work and really having that global impact. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time.